Good morning, Nudelberg Daily Huddle. This is it. This is day one of, I think, like 12.
10.
Wait.
No, it's 8 days.
It's 8
You
days?
guys
That's
will
all
have-
it is?
8
Yeah,
days.
you guys
He's
are
on
episode.
for 12.
Got
or
it.
11.
So 8 days of the huddle. It's like the 8 days of Hanukkah. The 8 days of the huddle without Steve Nudelberg. And we're excited to be here this morning. And I got to tell you, so I got up this morning, was catching up on some of my emails, and I responded to an email that Dad had sent yesterday, and I got his away message sent back to me, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I haven't seen an away
Nudelberg
message.
has an away message,
Right. I have not seen an away message from him in a very long time. Set
Ever.
the huddle, and I got it. It was the away message was live at about 8 a.m. yesterday. He did go on vacation yesterday, mentality wise.
I was
we
like,
are here.
I go in there and I'm like, let's set it, because you can set it when it turns on, when it turns off. He's like, nah, just put it on now.
And for those of you who do work with my dad directly, I think we can all say that we're happy for Shay, that he gets some time off away from the
a little break. I'm really interested to see. Is he on a plane right now?
He is. He's
okay, so there's no way he's going to be in the huddle.
He might.
He'll find a way. I believe he'll find a way.
I was with him on JetBlue when the Wi-Fi didn't work. It's not a very happy man. So,
so we're gonna hold it down. We're gonna hold it down for the next 8 days. Had a great day yesterday. So many things going on. Got some shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Philip Nathram, who is a local leader in Washington, D.C., does some great work with a lot of the government agencies. And he invited me on what was called the DC Leaders Podcast yesterday. And we went for 50 minutes and just had a phenomenal conversation about training and development, about overcoming obstacles, about mindsets. Just a really great time. And his energy was through the roof. So thank you, Philip, for that opportunity. And then another shout out to Scotty Garber, because I hadn't caught up with Scott in forever. He's here in the huddle every single day, an avid listener at 6 o'clock his time. But just super proud of you, dude, for everything that you have going on in the cryptocurrency world. If you are interested in learning about crypto or NFTs and you want to have like a layman's term explanation given to you, reach out to Scott. Scott will give you some knowledge on the space and make you feel like you could have a decent conversation.
There's like that question where it's like, are you into NFTs? Are you into, blockchain? And do you understand it? And I usually answer no,
Right.
But he has done an amazing job getting involved in it, is always looking on the cutting edge of innovation, of business, and
he's got some really cool projects.
He's not afraid to change, is not afraid to continue to get his feet wet, learn new things. And so obviously we are faux, and so we are happy for our family.
It's awesome stuff. He's got some great stuff going on with the city of Denver and with Nike right now, which is super cool. So shout out to you, Scotty. Great conversation yesterday. And it was a packed day yesterday, man. I had coaching calls in between. I had virtual coffees, some new opportunities to grow current partnerships, introducing GOTB into some retail locations, which is super cool. Yeah, you know what? It's a great idea. We might do that. There he is. Knew he would find a way to be here.
I was gonna say he took off.
Great idea. Maybe we'll bring on Scotty.
So he hit 10,000 feet.
It is 6 o'clock his time, but maybe he will. I'm sure he has no problem.
And he will show us up with his amazing setup.
And maybe we'll have a whole crypto conversation. That's probably a great idea. So let's get to some wake up music. We've got some great content coming for you about mentorship, about cheat days. So stay with us, and we will get this thing kicked off.
Wake up, everybody! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Wake up! Come on! Come on! Wake up, everybody! Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody! No more sleeping in there. No more about to thinking, time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
awesome stuff. Great to get started this morning. Glad to see Dad is in the crowd and watching with us. And apparently we sparked a little bit of a hot topic
conversation, which I can't add much, but Christian White says that United Way is accepting charitable donations by the way of crypto now.
So I would highly suggest that, Chris, you reach out to Scott, you guys connect and have a conversation, because what he's doing in the world of the city of Denver and for nonprofits and figuring out a way to use NFTs to feed donations back to nonprofits is really forward thinking, and you guys might have a great conversation. But today we're going to start with the first piece of conversation that we're going to have is about cheat days. And I think, depending on who you are and how you feel, most people would say, oh, discipline all day, every day. As soon as you cheat, you break. And I don't think that's reality. I think if you read the book, The Dichotomy of Leadership, the dichotomy of everything is the balance, right? And one of the balances is being disciplined, but not rigid. And so you pulled some great content about cheat days. So talk to us about it.
Today is National Eat Whatever You Want Day. Personally, I get an amazing amount of satisfaction from eating food, usually where the majority of my paycheck goes to. But there is nobody who does cheat meals better than this guy.
I love my cheat days. They have become legendary.
Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself, my friends. Enjoy your cheat day.
Which is a good thing. I do believe in working hard throughout the week and earning your cheat meals at the end of the week. My go-to cheat meal is usually, if I could find an amazing burger spot that has an amazing cheeseburger, and then I'll throw bacon on there, avocado, lettuce, tomato, onion, some great fries. I'll do that. Then some sort of sugar blast I will have, either some great cookies, or I have two amazing things. I have this amazing coffee cake, which is incredible, that I've been enjoying on my cheat days. And I also have tried this apple fritter bread, which is...
So there's no doubt, if you follow him on social, his cheat meal days are absurd. He posts them
legendary
all the time. He's got like French toast that's like the size of his head,
smeared with peanut butter and
right. Yeah. So I would say, I want to talk about this.
There's two different conversations I think you can have from him. One is shows his personal side of his life, and it is a part of his brand now. And then there is the cheat meal side of it, and the fact that he is probably number one guy in Hollywood when it comes to being in shape, and being disciplined to grinding, working hard.
So that's where, look at Todd Hudson's comment, right? He's like, now you bring up cheat day after you talked about commitment a few days ago. And that's exactly the reason I want to have this conversation, because commitment without a cheat day, commitment without a give equals burnout, 1,000%. There's no sustainment there. So if you're looking to, whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it be lose weight, whether it be work out consistently, whether it's, get more disciplined in your prospecting behaviors and what you do daily, if you just say, I'm going to do it all day, every day, and not give yourself some kind of reprieve from the behavior, you'll burn yourself out. And what ends up happening is when you have that break, you feel a total letdown and a total failure, as opposed to having that break scheduled for yourself that allows you to feel like, okay, I've got some give, and now I'm ready to go back to doing it. It makes going back so much easier, as opposed to feeling like, oh man, I'm a total failure.
It's like a ruin mentality. I've ruined all my work because I took one day and ate a cheeseburger or ate a pizza, or didn't make 5 calls or didn't add 5 connections. It's like, well, I've broken the chain. And we talked about it the last time I was on here about the chain. And I think it was Jerry Seinfeld. It was like, don't break the chain was his rule.
Right. And it was one joke a day. He was writing one joke a day.
And so he was doing it in moderations, whereas sometimes you get on these diets or you get on these fads or whatever it may be, you get so engulfed by, I have to be perfect. I think perfection, is, what's the quote? We'll chase perfection or we'll find excellence along the way. You know,
I want to know what the exact quote is because it's my favorite quote.
I know it is your favorite quote. That's why
I've used it my entire coaching career. We're going to chase perfection, knowing full well that it's unattainable, but on the way there, we'll find excellence.
And there's the word. It's unattainable. Perfection is unattainable. It's an unrealistic goal for us to put out there to be perfect. And I am the king of this. I'm a hypocrite if I don't say that. Like, I am delusional when it comes to what I eat. Delusional. I'm either hot or cold.
Yep. And you're either like, I'm not eating any bread
I'm not eating bread for the next 7
days. Or you're like, I want Wendy's for the next 4 days straight, which is the problem with that mentality, which is the problem of not having scheduled cheats, which is the problem of not having those little breaks for yourself is when you break, then it creates the snowball effect of, okay, well, I've just ruined all of the work that I already did of not breaking the chain or whatever. And now it becomes easier for me to slide further and have 1 day become 3 days, 3 days become 5 days, and it to become even harder to get back to the routine and the process. So you're looking at a guy who's a master at it. The guy, I mean, look at The Rock, the way he works out, the way he's committed to working, the way he's committed to his process of growing his businesses. He makes sure that he has that time away with his family to eat what he wants, to take a day away from the gym in order to give himself that reprieve. And then in order to be able to get right back to the grind the very next day.
It makes you appreciate the process side of it a little bit more, I think.
Exactly.
It shows you the difference, the way you feel, the things you do, you know.
So on National Eat Whatever You Want Day, what are you choosing to eat today?
Oh, I'm kind of on a diet, so no.
So if it was your cheat day, what's the one thing you're choosing? Like, you know, The Rock said it was a burger, right? Good burger.
Cheeseburger. I think a cheeseburger. Like, I'm probably gonna take a walk to BurgerFi for lunch or something along those lines. But
I would love to know from the Huddle audience, from everybody everybody listening, like today's National Eat Whatever You Want Day. What's the one thing that you eat if there's no hold bars?
Well, I ask this question to Dad a lot. I go, "What's one food you would eat if calories didn't matter?" You know, like what would be one food? And I think he said pizza was his answer.
Pizza's great. I think I'm going like Chick-fil-A fried chicken sandwich. Like, I think I would eat 1,000 of those if I could. Right? Paula Bird says tiramisu. Yeah. So it's interesting to see like who's gonna go with like savory foods or
there's the dessert side of it. There's the bread and cheese, which is the basic side.
Cheesesteak is, I love it. Joni says Avon Louis Prime Burger or Shake Shack Burger. So like burgers, fried chicken sandwich. For me, like a fried chicken sandwich
Look at this.
with some crispy French fries.
Fried caramel cheesecake with ice cream.
You know what? The butter, the honey butter chicken biscuit is another one that's just like, how do you say no to it? D. Robinson says cake. So I love it. Keep the comments rolling. Tell us about what it would be if you could eat whatever you wanted today. We're going to go to some morning motivational music. We're going to come back and then we're going to talk about mentorship in the workplace.
Looking back at the beginning of this and how life was, just you and me loving all of our friends, living life like an ocean. But now the current's only pulling me down. It's getting harder to read. It won't be too long and I'll be going under. Can you save me from this? 'Cause it's not my time. I'm not going
Three Doors Down?
Yeah, you can mess up that band like 17
Three
times.
Doors Down, Nickelback.
I was gonna say
the difference.
95 to 2005, Matchbox 20.
This is one of my favorite conversations that you and I have. Is like that genre of rock in that time. Just plug and play the name. It doesn't
really
matter.
like an
All the
ongoing
same
joke
music.
that we've had for years now.
It's awesome. Love the comments that are coming in about what people eat.
Burrito.
Carne asada burrito. And then I think Joni Knight gets the comment of anything wrapped in a burrito. I don't care what it is. Anything that you put in a wrap is absolutely delicious. All right, so I'm excited about this next conversation because, you know, there was somebody who put out a comment to the media and got absolutely crippled because of it, right? Like people absolutely were up in arms. We have the video of what he said.
We do.
Great. So let's show the video and then let's come back and have the conversation.
In a quarterback room in the same room, you know, we're competing against each other. We're you know, watching the same tape. We're doing the same drills. I don't think it's my job to mentor him, but you know, if he learns from me along the way, then that's a great thing.
So that's Ryan Tannehill commenting on a question about whether or not he was going to mentor the new quarterback that the Titans just drafted, which I think is a really interesting topic of conversation because mentorship is important. Mentorship is great for teamwork. It's great for camaraderie. But is it really somebody's job on the team to mentor somebody who's in the same role as them? Forget about being a coach and being a leader within the organization. I'm talking about two people that are assigned to do the same job. They're in the same role. And technically they're competing against each other. And so people lost their minds. They were like, what do you mean it's not your job to mentor him? He's a rookie. You're a veteran. I don't disagree with him.
And it was interesting because majority of the comments came from people who don't play quarterback, who don't play a position where there's one position, right? It came from cornerbacks where there's a lot of people play and they rotate. So it was the perspective that came from the league was probably not right, but it does translate to business. And, you know, I look at it as me and my compadres were going for the GA job.
Right.
We were like, it was the same. There's only 2 spots. There was no so I was fortunate enough to be surrounded by GAs who helped me, you know, and that was the mentality that I was thankful for. Like they helped me get to a place where I had responsibility. And I remember when other interns would come in, I was really scared at first. Like I was like, it's a natural feeling to be like, why would I tell him what I'm doing? You know, what makes me successful?
Yeah.
And I don't know that there's a right answer. And I'm interested to hear your take on it, you know, because I found myself in the beginning being like, I'm not telling you what I'm doing.
So and this is where I believe in, you know, you could say flat organizations are the way to be. You can have a flat organization and still have a hierarchy. Flat organization to me means that everybody has ownership and leadership in the organization. It doesn't mean that there's not defined roles and responsibilities and clear delineations of who's responsible for what in order to make the organization successful. So in that hierarchy, and D. Robinson makes the point, mentors are different than coaches. The leader of the organization, the quarterback coach, is the guy responsible for mentoring everybody in that position group. Same thing as a sales leader. If you're a sales manager, you're responsible for mentoring the sales members on your team. You may have guys that are 30-year vets, and you may have somebody that's a new guy coming in. You're responsible for mentoring them. The 30-year vet is not responsible for mentoring the rookie guy coming in to help him be successful.
Now, business.
Now, if that veteran is willing to offer some guidance, or that person is able to learn by watching what that guy does and fall in line in order to help him be successful, that's great. Great teams are built that way. But the question of, did Brett Favre mentor Rodgers? Probably not. Did he go out of his way to make sure that Aaron Rodgers was becoming successful? No, because it's his job to do that for himself. Right. So I think this idea of oh, it's his responsibility. No, it's your leader's responsibility. It is the head coach. It is the position coach. It is the vice president. It is the president. And it is the general manager.
It's Ryan Tannehill's job to lead by example.
And it is his job to lead by example and offer guidance when asked.
When asked.
Right? If I were to come up to the veteran and say, hey, I really need some help here, and Ryan Tannehill goes, screw you, figure it out yourself. Now we've got a problem that needs to be addressed internally with the team. But it's my job to lead by example and offer guidance when asked for. It's not my job to make sure you're doing your job. That's what the leaders of the organization are hired for, to hold people accountable. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, and if Malik Willis came to him and said, hey, I saw you doing this. Can you tell me why you did this?
Right.
We know Ryan Tannehill. He's been in this. He's not an asshole.
Of course he's going to do
that.
Not
asked the question. He said, my job is not. I'm struggling with my own job.
Right. I got to do my job first.
I have to do my job. And playing quarterback in the league is very hard. No matter if you're a 30-year vet.
I love it. And if there are veterans in an organization that are willing to be mentors to other people, fantastic. That's great. You want that. That's awesome. But it is not their responsibility to do that. Two very different things. If they want to take that on, great. I love that that's going to help our team be better, but that's not their responsibility. They shouldn't be expected to do that. That should be the expectation of the leaders within the organization.
And Joni says that the responsibility lies on the mentee to seek out help.
Correct.
It's not the guy who's there. You don't want to help someone who doesn't want to be helped.
It is exactly.
If Malik Willis is doing something wrong, he will help him, just like in other organizations.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Great show today. Excellent job. We will be back tomorrow for another Nudelberg Daily Huddle. Go eat a cheeseburger. Go eat a cheesesteak. Go eat a cheesecake. Figure out something to enjoy your day. Have a
asada burrito.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night.